think I'll get cut up.
Whatever. You got 5 minutes? I'll be cutting you like a DJ. So when you running off again?
I'm not.
Hello all, this time we will discuss the legendary games of the 2000s which are now also available for Android and iOS devices. Here are 5 games made by Rockstar Games that can be played right now.
Oh, right. Class. Take care to follow my instructions precisely, as we will be working with volatile chemicals
Number 1.
today.
Bully. Anniversary Edition. At this point, a holiday release from Rockstar on the App Store is beginning to become tradition, and I really couldn't be happier. This year's addition to Rockstar's mobile catalog is Bully, Anniversary Edition, celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the original 2006 launch. The mobile release is technically a second remaster of the game, as Bully, Anniversary Edition comes with all the tweaks of Scholarship Edition, plus additional graphical effects, higher resolution textures, better lighting, and a new multiplayer mode, effectively making the mobile game the best version yet, at least until it's remastered a third time. Taking a step back, let's assume you've never heard of Bully before, which, again, is totally reasonable since it isn't really a Rockstar flagship title. Bully is an open-world third-person adventure game where you play as a kid named Jimmy, set at the private boarding school, Bulworth Academy. Number 2. Max Payne Mobile. Do you remember bullet time wars in the early 2000s? Every game has to have it, and not one of them gets it right. We lost a lot of good games during that time, lose out with unnecessary additions from stupid movie ruse. But then Max Payne was released, and overnight the war ended. There is no denying that, in the end, a game has gotten its right timing. That day was nearly 11 years ago, and since then the world has changed. The game still applies bullet time, most of the time it works, but it all owes to Max Payne. The controls are about what you would expect from a virtual joystick. Max feels a little hovering when he's moving, and looking around can be annoying, but the game is still very playable, thanks in part to a fairly competent automatic aiming system. I know a lot of people scoff at the idea of automatic goals, but it actually makes the experience more cinematic and fun. When I turn off auto aim, the results are clearly unpleasant, and often frustrating, but your mileage may vary. The real problem with the default virtual control layout is that the hit zone for the buttons is too close to each other. Since you're aiming for an inconspicuous part of the screen instead of a button, you'll often find yourself jumping when you want to time the bullet. A small problem once or twice, but it gets significantly more annoying over the course of 8 hours of gaming. Like GTA 3, you can move the buttons around the screen in the options, but you never really get rid of the feeling that this is a game made for controllers, or keyboard and mouse. Playing Max Payne to finish takes 7 to 10 hours. If you intend to take that trip, be sure to manage your saved files yourself. Yes, Max Payne offers auto-save, but in my opinion that's unreliable, and really offends the worst. Unfortunately, a game ported from a PC seems to carry more quirks than if ported from a console. Max Payne came from a time where we didn't trust the game to save us, so we took that responsibility on ourselves. Max Payne for iOS has changed that feature in a spectacular way, so make sure you adjust your habits. I will be the first to admit that I am very excited about Max Payne's arrival to iOS. Number 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 Mobile Edition. Rockstar Games' GTA games sell really well on mobile, and the mobile versions are the definitive editions in terms of visuals and features compared to all the older ports. Today, Grand Theft Auto 3 has been updated to fix any slowdown and properly support the iPhone X size screens in addition to iPad Pro. With this update, all of Rockstar Games' iOS games now support iPhone X and iPad Pro screen sizes. As with all stories involving Rockstar Games, I can't help wonder when the next port will show up. The obvious one right now is still GTA, Vice City Stories, since we already have Liberty City Stories on iOS. I think the PS3 and Xbox 360 generation games are still a pipe dream at this point. What is your favorite PS2 era Grand Theft Auto game? Number 4. Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. It's been a bit sad to see Rockstar Games no longer releasing games on mobile. They used to be good for a touchscreen port of one of their classic games roughly every year, but for the past few years there have been no new releases despite there still being some very good candidates for mobile ports in their back catalog. I guess they're content swimming in the buckets of money that continue to come in from Grand Theft Auto Online, as well as the extremely successful launch of Red Dead Redemption 2, and even though their mobile ports are very well received and seem to sell a ton of copies, I imagine it's still just small potatoes to them compared to their other business. That said, they haven't been ignoring their previously released mobile games, and today Grand Theft Auto Vice City is the latest to receive an update adding in full-screen support for the latest iPhone 12 and iPad 12 Pro models. I'd guess that we'll be seeing similar updates to one or two of their other games in 2019, and I'm personally really hoping that Bully and Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars are in the mix. If you're still waiting for your own favorite Rockstar mobile game to get a full-screen update, my advice would be to remain patient, as it seems like it'll be coming eventually, and for now definitely dive back into the totally rad world of Vice City with this latest update. Number 5. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Last year Rockstar Games broke from their yearly tradition of releasing a new mobile game, but that doesn't mean that they've stopped caring about their existing library on the App Store. Ever since nabbing an iPhone X when they released last November, I've been wanting all of my favorite games to be updated to take advantage of the beautiful full screen of the device, and that includes all of Rockstar's offerings. Well, it took almost 6 months, but at least one of Rockstar's mobile titles, and arguably their most popular one, has just been updated for the iPhone 12. That game is none other than Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the largest and most robust of that original trilogy of open-world 3D crime games. Hey, if it had to be any of their games being updated for iPhone 12, I'd choose San Andreas first. But that also begs the question, what about the others? My gut tells me that at the very least the other 3D GTA games will see iPhone 12 support at some point, which would include GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA Liberty City Stories, and perhaps even GTA Chinatown Wars. Their two big non-GTA games, Bully and Max Payne, could very likely see similar updates too. While San Andreas may be the ultimate in their sandbox games from that Xbox PS2 era, there's certainly a bunch of fans devoted to the other GTA offerings that would love to play them properly formatted on the iPhone 12. I'm one of them. We'll keep our eye out for any more of these updates to Rockstar's catalog, but for now, if you've been jonesing for some full-screen GTA fun and your iPhone 12, then head over to the App Store and grab this latest update to San Andreas.
What you waiting for, fool? Take us back to the grove, motherfucker.
Those are the 5 games made by Rockstar that can be played today, which will make you reminisce about the console game era in the 2000s. Thank you for watching our video, share it with your friends if you like it. Bye.